All right, top of the morning to you. Thank you for tuning in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, and your state's number one family radio station. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafi Avenue, Oluyole, Estate Ibadan, the capital of your state. Today is Monday, the 19th day in the month of January 2026. And by God's grace and His mercy, we're moving one day at a time, fulfilling purpose, and of course, being the best version of ourselves by the special grace of God. After this week, one more week to go before the end of the month of January says goodbye. And we pray that all that we desire and all that we need to make the best of this year would be supplied. Amen to all of us. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. You're welcome to the program Perspectives Unlimited, where we take you through the top stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria, today. Very quickly, before we dive into the news at 7:30 a.m., remember that AM Sport will be coming live after the show, and Agbeya will by 8 o'clock, Business Diet by 9:30, and Wazobia platform from 10 o'clock up until 12 noon, and then the world news will take the center stage right after that. Let's get straight into the top stories for today. We have the Nigerian Tribune, the This Day newspaper published today, Monday 19th, and of course the Guardian newspaper with us in the studio today. We start with the Tribune. On page 27, NAF airstrike kills over 40 terrorists in Borno State. And on page 4, alleged UK property fraud, ICPC files charges against Mike Ozekame SAN. On page 6, 7.5% VAT customers want Central Bank of Nigeria to caution banks over exploitation. Now to the major story on the Nigerian Tribune for today, 2027 presidency debate over religious balance on Tinubu's ticket. Hot up. The writer says Northern leaders rules out Bishop Kuka, says he's politically exposed. X-ray General Musa Yulwatda. On page 27, gunmen abduct Ondo, APC chieftain kill police officer, abduct expatriate in Oyo. On page 27, NDLEA arrest wanted drug kingpin 12 years after murder of 3 officers. On page 5, multi-million dollars investment, jobs threatened as low activity hit the petroleum depot. On page 22, anxiety in INEC over Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2025. Commission may miss election notice timeline over delay by NAS. And finally, in health, on page 4, foods with preservatives increase risk of type 2 diabetes by 47%, says study. All right, away from that, let's move on to this day. Greenland EU states hold emergency meeting over Trump's 10% tariff threat. To the major story right there, African Ministers of Minerals re-elect Alaki as AMSG chairman, urge Africa to unite, catalyst economic growth through solid minerals. Uba Sani with the scale of federal government's project everywhere, Kaduna will re-elect Tinubu. Akpabio were focused on assisting the president to succeed because if he succeeds, Nigeria succeeds. On page 35, you find that story. Olawipo Hashimi, APC, will be voted out in 2027 despite legal intrigues against the PDP. And of course, we have the photo story of the return of the president back to Nigeria. Nuhu Ribadu in that picture. Fani Kaide also in that. Bajabi Amila, I beg your pardon, in that picture. And also the governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, also in that photograph. Now move on to the Guardian newspaper. NFIU, Nigeria's exit from FATF EU Black Book, a boost for financial system on page 3. The World Bank large-scale rural road investment key to Nigeria's food security goal on page 15. On page 4, federal government to inject 30 billion naira in 74 federal varsities as union urge pact execution on page 4. And on page 6 of The Guardian, SEC sex new capital rules stir anxiety, stress test portfolio managers on page 6. On page 7, Oyo Group decry Nigeria's 150,000 sickle cell birth yearly burden. On page 28, NAF kills over 40 insurgent disrupt Borno attacks. On page 26, federal government bans mining activities within 10-kilometer radius of bridges nationwide. On the same page, Pengasan pushes for minimum wage replacement with sectoral CBAs. And on page 28, 2027, North seeks consensus on security governance issues on page 28. And on page 6, legal hurdles, assembly silence deepen Rivers impeachment uncertainty. And that's all we can take on the front page segment of the show. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. In a moment, we will bring you in-depth analysis on the program Perspectives Unlimited this morning. But remember to find us on all social media platforms, especially on our Facebook page, where this program is currently streaming live. On our Facebook page, the program is streaming live right now, which means you can watch the show, you can drop your comment and share the video. And most importantly, on our Facebook page, Wells Radio, it's 93 FM fan page. Wells Radio, it's 93 FM fan page. Welcome to the show. All right, so welcome back to the program. This is still 89.3 FM, Wells Radio, your preferred wholesome radio, and your state's #1 family radio station. Thank you for joining us on the program. With me in the studio this morning is Chukwemeka Munachisa. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning to you, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, by the special grace of God.
Maybe I say happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Today is my birthday.
Yes.
And I thank God for His mercies.
God is good.
When there are things we shouldn't take for granted, especially when you hear that the average as a lifespan of a Nigerian is about 53 point something, and you are above that. You really, there is every cause for celebration. I thank God for His mercy. I thank God for preserving my life till this time.
Thank God. So how do you feel?
I feel okay. There's nothing so special. The things I used to do, I still do them. And I believe so much in exercise.
Yes, you do.
So much. Every Thursday and Saturday, I do a lot of jogging and workout, and it helps me a lot. So that's I literally discovered that it's even a medicine.
Oh yes, it is.
That's what
it works. Yeah.
Somebody told me that it's medicine itself, and that's why you see sportsmen and women, you can't predict their age because they always when you live sedentary life, you are calling for sickness, But when you are always exercising, and it helps your brain to function very well.
You're moving. You're just moving and moving.
Yes.
Well, once again, happy birthday.
Thank you very much,
Happy
Ayo.
birthday to you. I'm sure we're celebrating today.
Yeah, we will, even if with water.
Celebration is celebration. It comes with the season. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
All right. I don't want to start the show without talking about the drama between Senegal and Morocco, even though I'm sure that when we're done, we'll take up Sam Adelere on that later on. When the match was going on, you were on your show
I was on my show
last night, and I couldn't believe it. In fact, when I saw Stephen this morning, I said, all of a sudden, yourself and Damola and the rest of the team turned yourself to, Senegalese. And I just, for a moment, I pondered upon what football can do to us. Because, hearing them scream last night, together with Hosanna, everyone shouting and screaming and being excited, I just imagine what we can do. It's about time we started saying what we can do with football, aside from just entertainment. Because again, if you see Nigerians, when we meet ourselves outside Nigeria, I don't care whether you are Igbo or Hausa. The moment you're a Nigerian and I meet you outside Nigeria, you become my brother or sister all of a sudden. Then when we get back home, we are divided. And then you become your tribe, I become my tribe. The same thing when it comes to football. The moment Nigeria, the Super Eagles is playing, nobody cares, because on the field is where you find Osimhen, on the field is where you find Igbo, on the field is where you find Hausa, you find Igbo. So everybody's playing to ensure that Nigeria is together. And then seeing Africa again, the rest of Africa, especially with some of the cheats that may seem like Morocco was trying to play yesterday, everybody just moved behind the Senegalese club and we say, oh, Senegal must win. And so I said to myself, what else can we do with football?
Ayo, there is a lot we can do with football if we have transformational leaders. Football is a rallying point. Football is a statement, is an avenue for this country to move forward. Ayo, can you imagine if we play politics the way we play football? Look at the field of play. You cannot see, nobody has ever come out to say, oh, why are these people dominating the team? Why can't we bring in our own person? That is in football. You see names, people coming from a particular region, and nobody ever complains, because what is at stake is more than division. But when it comes to politics, our leaders weaponize ethnicity and religion. And that is why we feel the worst of the worst. And that's why they do what they do with our collective life, with our life, and mess up the whole system. Imagine if what we are doing in football, we carry it over to politics. We bring in the best, irrespective of your religion, irrespective of where you are coming from. Do you think Nigeria will be the way we are right now? We can't. So because football would have been a rallying point for this country to move forward. Look at what happened yesterday. You mentioned Senegal and Morocco. When we were watching that ball, I was on air, but I looked at the field. You see, that's where you cannot really run away from who you are as a black person. I think we all rallied around Senegal because of our color, our complexion. You understand? He played out. Most of us.
Morocco is also in Africa.
No. Yeah, Morocco is in Africa, but they are not.
They are not dark skinned.
They are not dark skinned people. You understand? I think that played a lot. So when we saw what was happening, these ones they look like us. So all of us queued
behind them.
We queued behind them, and we thank God for the match, and we thank God for and that's another thing again in football. When Mali lost, They went after the Marabout that they paid 350 euro and beat the hell out of him until the police intervened. So that brings again the question of voodoo in football. Does it really matter? Does it have an effect? For Mali for the fans to go after the Marabout, a very popular Marabout in Mali.
At least they paid.
They paid him
their money. Maybe if they didn't pay,
and
they may not even bother.
The man promised them that they will definitely win.
Unfortunately, I mean, because I know also in Nigeria, a prophet had also prophesied that Nigeria was going to, win. That's the match, Nigeria-Morocco. That Nigeria was going to beat Morocco to qualify for the finals. And then, Nigeria eventually took the third place, which we're still grateful for, though.
Thank God
we didn't stroll to the AFCON.
They didn't pay the prophet, otherwise they would have visited him.
I'm not sure that information is anywhere, whether he was paid or not. So I think it's still very similar to some people paying and then hoping and then...
Witch doctors.
Unfortunately. Hard work pays, though.
Hard work pays.
And then there's a lot that comes to the game of football.
Ayo, let's go to these Yahoo boys. Who believe that money comes by magic. Money does not come by magic. Money comes when you add value to something. Because you see the same thing. You believe that, you can make money without work. You can't win without practice, without really exercising yourself, without really playing well. That is, I'm comparing it now.
Yes.
Football and Yahoo boys believe that you can make money without working. It doesn't work that way. Money comes as a result of you adding value to something. So life is about reward system. What value are you bringing? When you play well in the field of play, you win.
When you play well in the field of play, you win. So add value to whatever you're doing today and be sure that God will breathe upon it. All right, let's start with this story. Petrol war. Importers outpace domestic refineries with 62% supply in 2025. Petrol importation remained the domestic source of fuel consumed in Nigeria in 2025, accounting for 62.47% of the country's total PMS consumption, according to a report. Now, the new report released by the NMDPRA fact sheet on the state of the midstream and downstream petroleum sectors analyzed by correspondent of The Punch. Total national petrol consumed by Nigeria stood at approximately 18.97 billion liters in 2025, with the oil market companies accounting for 11.85 billion liters through import, highlighting the market's continued dependence on foreign supply. This means that nearly two-thirds of petrol consumed by Nigerians in 2025 was sourced from import, while domestic refineries contributed about 7.54 billion liters, representing 37.53% of total consumed, the regulator stated. These totals were derived by applying the daily average consumption to the number of days in each month. The data, which was based on volumes trucked into the domestic market, underscored Nigeria's continued dependence on fuel import, even as the Dangote refinery, currently the country's only operational large-scale refinery, ramped up supply during the year. Meanwhile, the volume of petrol import is expected to decline significantly in 2026 if the federal government proceeds with a planned implementation of a 15% import tariff on PMS slated to take effect in the first quarter of this year, in line with a policy memo approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'll go back to that again, stating that Nigeria's consumption stood at 18.97 billion liters in 2025, and of course 11.85 billion liters of all of that we consumed in that year came from foreign imports, and of course 7.5 billion liters only from domestic refineries. This of course brings up the conversation again when you get words from Dangote refinery saying that they're sufficient to cater for all of the nation Nigeria. We've also heard from different quarters saying, hello, you cannot even handle what Nigeria is saying. But let's look at this data, what it holds for Nigeria. If we, of course, we have the crude, and we're still relying solely on foreign import. Is this the cost of production? Yes, if you look at the prices, it's still here and there. But let me get your view on
it's not a cheering news at all. is depressive. Because if we rely solely on importation, that sector is still very vulnerable. You understand? Because what you don't control, you can manage it. We have refineries that are not working. Why are they not working? You cannot outsource something as critical as that sector to foreign importation. You can't do that. And believe, you may be living, you may be having, there may be no queues in the filling station, but it is not healthy economically for this country. Imagine importing almost 70% of what we are using, and yet we have what it takes in this country to make our refineries work. Why are they not working? It is not good news at all for the economy and for Nigerians. Even though we may not have fuel scarcity right now, it is not healthy for our economy. It is the government that should put their feet down and actually make the refineries that we have that are not working. Why are they not working? Is it a cause that we will not have? Imagine if refineries are working, all of them. Do you think we'll be saying what we are saying? Maybe what I'm suspecting is that there's always a cabal in every sector who may not want this thing to work because it helps them. Ayo, have you imagined why, in this railway thing we are talking about, do you know that it's people that into haulage businesses? Do you know that some of them may not even want this railway thing to actually go everywhere because it affects their business? It is all about interest. Why is it that our refineries are not working? That's the question Nigerians should be asking the government. Because we cannot depend solely on importation and feel that, because there's no scarcity, all is well. All is not well. Because Dangote is, I know what he told Nigerians, that he's capable of, but now we discover that he is not capable. Dangote alone cannot meet the petrol need of all Nigerians. Do you know how many liters we consume on a daily basis? Importation is not the answer.
Do we know how many liters we consume daily?
On daily basis, yes. Google it, you will see it. You understand? But the thing is this. If government feels that, because this is like living in fool's paradise, believing that, because there's no fuel queue, all is well. All is not well. If we are still depending on another economy to give us this basic need that we have in this country, all is not well. It's not a good news at all, as far as I'm concerned. Because our refineries must work. If they are working, we don't need importation. Do you know how much we spend to import? Do you know how we are enriching other economies at our own expense? And meanwhile, we have all it takes to refine our own oil, but corruption will not allow it to work. I keep mentioning Ajokuta Steel Company because that is how that sector was ruined. Despite the humongous amount of money Nigeria has spent in our steel, and yet we are not even producing a needle. Go to South Korea. They started the same year with us. Go and see how they are exporting steel to other countries. What are we exporting? And yet, look at our refinery. They are even mulling the idea of selling it off. To who? To the same people that ruined it. You can't have good governance when there is no accountability. I keep that is my mantra. Accountability, good governance comes with accountability. You must give account to it. Once you abrogate the people and you don't believe they deserve to know how their commonwealth is spent, you can be anything in government. You can do as you like because you believe that nobody will touch you. But if it's a country where you know that when you leave office, you are still coming to give. I know of many presidents in the world who, after they left office, they were brought to book. People ask questions, and many of them went to jail. Can it happen in Africa? No, it can't happen because once you are a leader, you are like almost a god. Look at what Museveni is doing in Uganda. 81-year-old man, after how many years in office, and you are still the sole, you are still muzzling the opposition. And now, if anything happens in Uganda, AU will rise up and say they are defending democracy. What is happening in Uganda? Is it democracy? Back to Nigeria. My brother, it is not good news at all. There's nothing good in that news. People may not read the meaning into it, but there's nothing good in it.
All right. For many years, of course, we relied almost entirely on imported petrol following the prolonged underperformance of our state-owned refineries in Port Harcourt, in Warri, and in Kaduna. And of course, the structure of the market began to shift in the late 2024 with the commencement of the operation of the Dangote refinery. However, Regulatory data from the regulatory authorities still show that while domestic refining and distribution improved steadily in 2025, imports still remain highly dominant. The conversation of Dangote being a key player in this and the future of Nigeria's total dependence on imported PMS is one conversation I want us to have now. What is the way forward of balancing this figure? Of course, Rome was not built in a day, so balancing the figures may still cost us some time. But hey, all through early last year, we're dealing with Port Harcourt refinery is working, Warri refinery is working, and only to then eventually get to see thereafter that it was not what it claimed to be. Now, see what we're spending on import, and what's the future for?
Rome was not built in a day, but have we even started building? You see, when you want to start building, you cannot remove accountability, you cannot remove transparency, you cannot remove sincerity of purpose. We have refineries that are not working. Why are they not working? That's where we start from. If we are transparent enough and we have the will to make it work, it will work. But because people who will make it work are not interested, they are not interested in making it work, because citizens cannot wake up tomorrow and begin to say, why do we have this thing? And we still go outside to get something to come here. Why not use the one we have? That's why, Ayo, everything boils down on leadership. When you have, there is a book I always tell people to go and read, from third world to first world, the story of Singapore. You will see people that qualify to be called leaders. They know where they are taking the country to. They know where they will be in the next 10 or 15 years. And they plan very well for their people. Do we have such leaders? Of course not, we don't. What we have are transactional. Government is about making sure that things work out for the citizens in a sinner climb. But in Nigeria, is it like that? No. It's an avenue for personal, humongous, satanic acquisition of wealth. Let me be wealthy. It's not about the people. If it's about the people, you will care. Look at the first generation of leaders that we had. Awolowo was here. If it was going to school, he would have sent his children abroad to go and school. But the children schooled here. He was after his people. What will I do to make my people okay? He instituted free education, which an average Yoruba man that is above 60 years benefited from. Why did he do that? Why? You go to the southeast. Mike Obara was there. This palm fruit plantation everywhere. Where are they today? The children who don't know, I call them children of Eli, because they didn't follow the footsteps of their fathers. They came and scattered everything. Do we have leaders who will look around and said, look, we have crude. Why are we taking it outside? Why can't we use our own resources to make sure that these things are working for the benefit of our people? No, they won't do that, because it will not benefit them.
Let's take a break. When we come back right after the break, we open the phone lines for you to share your view and perspective on this particular information. Nigeria still relying totally on imported PMS. We did that in 2025, and it's not looking like anything will be different in 2026. Your view, side by side, on Perspectives Unlimited. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704-530-8414 or 0814-177-2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I am so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
The Financial Services Regulation and Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, don't join body to warn everybody of the plenty wahala where the illegal financial operators, IFOs, they cause every day, where they spoil and scatterbalance the trust where public people get on top anything where concern money for Obodo Nigeria. Them they advise us to stop to follow and do business with financial money operators when no get license. Abeg, confirm the license of those kind company on top these websites them www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any fake financial people or money scam where you suspect, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SEC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
Family is not defined by blood, events, headlines, or frequencies. It's our shuffled feet in the busy streets, the levity of the birds upon the brown rooftops, indigenous, nuclear. A blue sky coming to greet us on a sunless morning, safe, clean, wholesome, somewhere between truth and fiction. Wells Radio 89.3 FM Oluyole Estate, a gallery built from mere words of culture, heritage, music, brush strokes visible on an artwork, the rhythm of repetition. Family is not defined by blood, it is togetherness, heirlooms in diaspora, with open arms to embrace through thick and thin. This home, your family, this radio is your radio. My name is Jesu Joba Isaac. I will keep listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Welcome back to the show. While the commercials were playing, I said something. Just imagine if overnight someone just says, "Hey, Nigeria, you're going to host the AFCON. Are we ready?" I mean, looking at the stadium and some of the infrastructure, in place, and some of the footage of seeing cartoons in our national stadiums, I just imagine that overnight someone just wakes up and say, "Hey, Nigeria, I think it's your turn. You people can do it."
No, we are not ready.
It is well.
We are not. We are far, far, far. Not that we don't have what it takes to be ready, but we are not interested.
We're not interested.
We are not. Because my fear is that if you bring this kind of people to Nigeria, and with the way we are right now, kidnapping everywhere, terrorism everywhere, how do you safeguard the people? It will be a national, a world, global embarrassment. So when we are not ready, when we are ready, we know. But for now, we are not ready.
We're not ready. Let's get back to the last conversation about PMS before I open the phone lines. Regulatory data show that between October and December 2024, a total petrol consumption stood at 4.77 billion liters, and out of which import accounted for 3.61 billion liters, while domestic refineries supplied at 1.17 billion liters. That was between October and December 2024. All right, that's about 3 months.
You see the disparity
only, and then coming to 2025, you can see the margin. And now this is just January 2025. I'm sure if you get the data alone for the first say 18 days of the year, it will shock us what import is already saying in that sector. Yet this is a land filled with milk and honey. Crude is flowing, and yet we are heavily dependent on import. Let me call the studio lines quickly to come back. 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-333-893. Phone lines to call the show. And also share your thoughts on our Facebook page. We will be glad to read your comment.
You see, Ayo, when politics ceases to be a calling and becomes an occupation, this is what you get. Because elections now become battlegrounds for capturing state resources. That's exactly the definition of Nigerian politics. It's no longer a calling, it's an occupation through which state resources could be captured. But if you have people who actually see it as a calling because they have a name to maintain, like I gave an example about Awolowo. Till today, everybody still talk about Awolowo. Even in the Down East, I was a small boy. We are hearing about him and what he was doing here because he saw politics as a calling, not occupation. I was watching a national television the other day. Some of these people that are throwing themselves around from Ekiti State. He was on national television and was saying that I'm a politician. I'm a politician. It is my what? Who are you? I went to an event and introduced a man as a veteran politician. Ayo, this country, they introduced a man and he came out with overstature, but looking like a parachute. They describe him as a veteran politician. In fact, you will look at him and say, what is this one? Veteran politician. Because politics is now an occupation. It's no longer a calling. Because if it's a calling, you will, and it's a ministry. Whatever is a calling is the ministry. But now it's an occupation. That's why when they lose election, they don't go back to what they were before. They still remain. They still be paraded within the corridors of power, be waiting for patronages, and that is why things are not working. Because when they help you to power, you must give them something to maintain. In Oyo State, go and take care of this one. Go and take, because that is, they have seen it as occupation. If our leaders become transactional, Ayo, we will not be where we are today. They'll be looking at the future. They'll be planning ahead that our people must not remain this way. But they don't care about the people. It's all about themselves. Personal aggrandizement.
All right. You can go on the Punch newspaper for today to read up that story. Petrol war. Importers outpaced domestic refineries with 62% supply in 2025. Let's move on to another story. 30 billion relief, Oyo cries politics as HEDA drags Makinde to EFCC. The Human and Environmental Development Agenda has petitioned the EFCC over alleged diversion, misapplication, and criminal breach of trust involving the 30 billion naira released by the federal government to the Oyo State government in the aftermath of the January 2024 Bodija explosion in Ibadan. The petition, signed by the chairman, Mr. Olarewaju Soraju, and addressed to the EFCC chairman, Mr. Olanipekun Olukoyede, queried the status of the fraud fund released for the expansion of explosion compensation of explosion victims, reconstruction, and emergency relief. In the petition dated the 5th of January 2026, the group expressed concern that only about 4.5 billion intervention funds were reportedly applied to relief and compensation of victims, while the federal government's 30 billion naira remained largely unaccounted for. The Oyo State government had acknowledged the receipt of the fund, but clarified that it received 30 billion, which it said remained untouched until it gets the balance of 20 billion naira. Now, following the state government disclosure, victims of the explosion demanded the release of the 30 billion to complement earlier support release, which they described as an adequate compensation. And speaking with the Punch on Sunday, 41. Let's take this call and I'll come back to that. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George.
Yeah, George from Ologwano.
Good morning, sir.
May God bless the soul of Awolowo, wherever he is. But I ask a question. I think Awolowo is dead. He has finished his work. He has good records. People are still shouting Awolowo, Awolowo, Awolowo because of the good things he has done. The people we are having now, are they working, showing example of or following the footsteps of Awolowo to make life better for the people? Let's take one visible item, light, electricity. What is the minister for power still doing on that seat when he cannot provide light for the people? A lot of people are suffering today. I ask again, do we have minister for water resources? And what has he done? What do these people want to be remembered for? We are not playing a good game because we allow these people to sit down there and they are sharing our money, our wealth, and the people are languishing in suffering. Let's praise Awolowo. Yes, good. But we should ask people who are there, what are you doing like Awolowo did? That is what we should be talking of now. There's nothing working in this country. Nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you for your perspective and view this morning. All right, still on the Oyo story there, Chukwemeka. Let's get your thoughts in on this particular one. The Human Environment Development Agenda has petitioned the EFCC over alleged diversion, misapplication, and criminal breach of trust involving the 30 billion naira released by the federal government to the Oyo State government after the aftermath of the Bodija explosion.
But Oyo State government has stated that they have not received the whole money. So I think taking Oyo State government to EFCC or ruling around, let it not be, it is too early in the day. Let Oyo State government respond to this what is going on, what this group has done with the EFCC, and Oyo State government should be very, very careful because now the body language of everybody is decamping, everybody is throwing weight one way or the other, and Oyo State government should be very, very, they should tread cautiously. This time around, they should let the people know what did you receive. How did you distribute the money?
I think they have made it clear because again now the Commissioner for Information in Oyo State, Prince Dr. Eladi, said the unending situation over this money might be unconnected to the 2027 politic in which the state government is very ready for.
It is.
And now remember, on Inside Oyo State had interviewed 2 or 3 victims of the explosion. Some said yes, they received what the Oyo State government called support,
not
which is inconsequential to their loss, especially after valuer were on ground to value their property. I remember that one of them explained that he got about 1.2 million thereabouts.
For what?
And of course, I think a 5-bedroom duplex gone.
Imagine.
1.2 million naira. And then he also now mentioned that some tenant, their losses, if you account for it, is even more than what some landlords experienced. That a man, just his louver blades were gone and got about 10 million naira. And some tenants that lost all of their properties, including their cars, got about 800,000 naira. Now, some of these victims are calling back and saying, hey, if this 30 billion naira is still something, you called what you gave to us support, can we then get something? But according to a report here, the state government might still be waiting to get the balance, as the report says that the 30 billion naira is still right there breathing in the bank, first bank account. I think the account number was released at some point, and the bank statement made the rounds on social media, which a lot of people also questioned whether that was edited or not. But waiting for the remaining 20 billion, the 30 billion, what people are saying, especially the victims, and now connecting this either allegation or petition to politicking, especially 2027 election. Is that how do you react to that?
Oyo State government, how can you give somebody that lost louvers 10 million and somebody that lost his life earnings 800,000? You see, what Oyo State government did is all over the country. It's just because this Oyo State government issue came to limelight. If you check all the country where these governors are rolling in money, you see what they are doing with people's money. Honestly speaking, this thing is not only happening in Oyo State. I am very, very sure it is happening all over Nigeria. Most governors are behaving the way Oyo State government is behaving. When such money comes, first of all, they give to their cronies. That man that got 10 million for losing louvers, go and check now his connection to government. And those who do not have any connection, whether you lost your car or everything. I was on ground during that day. I went to the site of that explosion. You saw devastation, complete devastation. People lost their livelihood. How can you give somebody that lost all his 800,000? What will he do with it? And now, if Fayoshe did not even come out to say what he said, will Oyo State people even know that something like this was brought to Oyo State? People will know. That's why I keep saying that without transparency, Nigeria is not going to make any progress. At least tell people this is what we have got. Let's come and evaluate. A transparent evaluation, not just because you go there, because the man is a big man. You give him 10 million for losing louvers. And the one who has no voice in the society that lost all his life earnings, you are giving him 800,000. How do you explain it?
Let's take this. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, we'll stack up. Let's go.
So how do you explain it? That's why I said in a society where the politics has become occupation, you can't get honest people. You all will be getting a transactional people, business. Let money come, we share it. People will not talk. Until Nigerians wake up one day and begin to demand for accountability from their leaders, Nigeria will not make progress. Accountability is what moves. When people are in power, they know that, people will ask questions. If we collect this money on their behalf and we spend it anyhow, you may likely see them here. Let's be careful. That is why opposition is very good for politics to thrive, because opposition parties will keep the ruling party on its feet. But whereby you cannibalize opposition, you have given room for authoritarianism. You have given room to do as you like, because you know that nobody will ask you any question, and it's not going to augur well for the citizens.
All right. Well, the question of what are the plans for that money in the bank account?
Good morning, the Honorable AY.
Good morning, Benga Mario. Thank you for calling us.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Good morning, Mr. Shumeka.
Good morning, Benga.
It is Benga Mario.
You're welcome.
When Obasanjo was the president of this country, he said something that we all chorused back then. He said, if you are a governor well. if a president well, he mentioned various posts and he said you should ensure that you should do it well. Now, without hiding under one finger, what Mr. Governor, I'm talking about Shimakide, what he has done to the victim of Bodija explosion, it's not good. We must call it spade a spade. The 30 billion naira that was released by federal government is enough, not to take care of the victims, to give them money that will be able to maybe that will be able to afford to build a mini-2 flat. The money we cut across 30 billion is a huge amount of money. Not waiting for the remaining 20 billion. The remaining 20 billion may not come till Mr. President finishes tenure. So what will now happen to 30 billion naira? So I think Mr. Governor Shimakinde should please come out openly and make a conference, a public conference, and call those victims together and give them what is due to them. That's the only thing that can douse this tension. Taking him to court, taking Mr. Governor to court, so it's a good one. I think you keep Mr. Governor on his toes, fine. But let him, for him to maintain his good character and all that, he should call a public conference and ensure that those victims, they were adequately compensated. That is that. And lastly, on the issue of the AFCON, I slept around to one yesterday because I really supported Senegal. Since you are being beaten by Morocco, and you can see that the referee almost played alongside with the Moroccans. But thank God at last Senegal won. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Benga. Thank you for your call. Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook says, "Good morning and have a productive week ahead, sir. I learned your state government had acknowledged receipt of the federal government funds, but clarified that it received 30 billion naira, which it said remained untouched until it gets the balance of 20 billion naira, because some government officials from the federal government yet to release it because they are requesting for kickback." That's what Sulaiman Sharif is saying on Facebook. We may not be able to verify that as that information is not in the news. But do stuff like that happen in Nigeria?
It does happen.
Oh, yes, it does happen. If that is the case, yes, Sulaiman Sharif, I may not be able to confirm that, at the moment. Now, 7.5 VAT. Customers cry out, want CBN to caution banks over exploitation. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hi.
Good morning, Mr. Salami from Rawton. Good morning. Mr. Salami, please do call us back. The line is not clear. Please do call us back. You can use the alternative numbers 0913-333-893 or 0915-333-4893 so we can speak to you clearer and better. Let's talk about the VAT. Okay, there's another line here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Salami, the line is failing. Can you use any of the other lines to speak to us so we can hear you? All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Many customers are frowned on the 7.5 VAT on selected electronic services, saying that taxes are becoming too much for citizens in Nigeria. Some of them who spoke to the news agency on Sunday in Abuja appealed to the CBN to ensure that banks do not use the guise of VAT to exploit their customers. The customers said although VAT applied only to service fees, not to the amount transferred. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Salami, thank you for calling back.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, Mr. Salami. Oh, and we can hear you loud and clear on this other line. Chikwemeka, your reaction?
Yeah, is calling CBN to weigh into the matter. What will CBN do? They can caution the banks, but will they obey? That's the issue. Ayo, will they ever obey it?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
All right, God bless you, sir.
God bless you
good morning, Mr. Chikwemeka. All right, sir.
Good morning, Salami.
For me, all right, sir. Thank you. Is it for me? I think, though not a cheering one, that some fuel importers still engage in fuel importation, but for me, I think it's still good because their action is a kind of a liberation for Nigeria against monopoly in that industry. Honestly speaking, since the federal government, as we need on its promise to fix our refineries, so we need other players in that industry in order to save Nigeria from Dangote and from Dangote monopoly. Otherwise, honestly speaking, we may be enjoying it now, but I tell you, if there are no other players in that industry, just a matter of time, our oil industry will become like the cement industry in this country. But the ultimate thing is for Mr. President to live up to his promise to Nigeria that he will fix our refinery. That's the ultimate. But in the meantime, I think it's commendable that some people still risk their money to import for. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution on the show. Chukwemeka, very quickly.
So the VAT issue, will the banks obey it? Will they? That's the question. It's not just about saying something. Will they actually? The citizens are already look, Ayo. Along the line, you will discover that they are collecting this money one way or the other. That is why people were saying, make this tax thing so transparent in such a way that people will read it in their indigenous languages and understand. Everything is still shrouded in mystery. Many Nigerians don't even know anything about this tax thing. They don't understand. And why should government be deliberate in keeping the people in the dark over tax issues when you know it is all about their earnings? You don't know whether if you send money, what they will collect, or if somebody sends to you. What is wrong in making it very clear? Let people understand where you are taking them to. If there's nothing in it, make it so clear, so transparent that anybody, the good book says, write it down so that whoever runs with it will understand what you are saying. But why bringing out a policy where the citizens are in the dark and you are implementing it? And you think that people will not exploit the situation to fleece the citizens? That's why people are saying, make this thing so transparent, make jingles, spread it over radio stations and television stations, and let the people know where this thing affects them and where it does not affect them, so that they will be in the know. But when you keep them in the dark, sharks will come up to do whatever they want to do, because everything will become hearsay, everything will become a rumor. Nobody is actually having first-hand information on what the government is doing. I think it boils down on government not coming forth to tell Nigerians what is in this tax thing for the average citizens.
All right. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
And that's all we can take on the program Perspectives Unlimited this morning. We want to say thank you for your time and, of course, your attention as you move on with your day-to-day activity today. And we must also thank you, your state, for the support received for our second year anniversary. Thank you, and thank you so much. Please do not stop. Keep listening to 89.3 FM. God bless you. Good morning.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.